Deal.
All right, 10:04, and we'll have some latecomers come on, but welcome everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. This is where you get to brag on yourself a little bit. Anybody have some positive stuff going in their group that you'd like to share? Michael, take it away.
Awesome. So you guys all saw we are going to talk today a little bit about, or I wanted to talk today a little bit about, just building that trust and converting, our clients and building that loyalty between the clients and people that we have, and how do we keep that going and go. So this is a perfect time, kind of a segue straight what we just talked about. When the market gets a little tough or what we're doing, how do we keep that mind here? How do we keep the clients loyal to us, and how do we get new clients? And that's done in two ways. And a lot of people, when we're out here and we profess it, I've fallen victim to it at times, is, now that we have social media, we put out social media, and it's, I can put myself and everybody's going to see me, and it's posted, and I'm doing my job, I'm doing my work, but that's only one part of it, right? If I do only social media and put it out there, I'm not directly contacting or in touch with anybody. That's reaching the masses, right? But I need to get that personal one-on-one contact with somebody. So that's where you need to have that, within your sphere of influence, that we need to contact and talk to people, have a meeting, have a, connection with them. So some of the differences we'll say between social media and personal connections is, social media is like a megaphone. You're going to use it to stay visible. We have a wide reach, casual engagement. There's a brand awareness too. So that's where we brand ourselves. That's where we let everything know. Personal connection is like a handshake. We build a deeper trust, stronger loyalty, and more direct referrals. So, some of the strategy we do that we can use to build our business with their sphere of influence is organize our sphere of influence. Make sure we have them down listed so we can systematically work it. And it's not just, I need to put them all into my CRM, or I need to have them all down on a list. We have to go in, and sometimes we categorize them and rank them. These are our top clients. These are my A clients, A people that we're talking to. Then we have to tag them and get them. But big thing is we need to communicate with them regularly without being salesy. Birthday texts, anniversary cards, thinking of you notes, create moments of personal touch. It's so huge, guys, when we're talking to our sphere, that we talk to them, not necessarily about real estate, not necessarily about, what are we selling, what's going on. We want to let them know what's going on in the market. But if I call up Nate and just say, hey Nate, how's it going today, just want to check in, everything good, he's got that touch. He sees my social media, he sees my brand. Every once in a while when I make these calls and check in, I'm building that trust, I'm building that relationship. I need to let these people know that we are in the relationship with them long term, not just for the sale. So some of the things that we can do, pop bys, coffee meetings, those calls just to check in and see how they are, birthday calls. And yeah, I mean, it's just going to be those little things that we're doing on social, on those personal meetings. And this, guys, goes not only with our clients that we have that are in our sphere, this also goes, and this one I think is huge for us, is to build the loyalty, is also with other realtors. I keep telling this to everybody. It's not just, I don't want to build my client base. I want to build a client, I build relationship base. I want to build a business network between clients and other agents. And some of that is, Elgin, let's go have lunch. Frank, let's have coffee. Let's talk. Let me call you and see what's happening in your market or how you're dealing with this market. And then I'm able to relate that and share that with my other clients. I'm going to break down just a little bit when we have our social media and everything, and how we convert a client more so that we just met, maybe a first met, to convert them a little bit into a somebody on our sphere, somebody that we maybe wanted to talk to, and how we build that relationship up from somebody maybe we don't know, and then to build some trust and keep working on it. So I'm going to use the example because we all do them, and we use them as open houses. So when somebody comes in an open house, it's not, are you here to buy the house? What are you looking for? I mean, these are pretty common general things. Welcome, find out their name as soon as possible, start using their name, and talk about them, right? Find ways that they find out about them. And then, important, get their social media or find a way to contact them, right? And we want to follow up with them, quickly. So, we make a warm greeting, ask about them. We want to offer helpful, valuable information immediately, gather their contact, and then end with an open invitation to connect. One thing that I do with everybody that I meet with and I talk to help build these relationships is I do little micro promises. I give myself a task to fulfill so that the next time that I talk to them, I've proven myself trustworthy. I've shown them that I'm a person of my word. So if I say, Candace, I'm going to call you tomorrow and I'm going to give you some more information on the fairs that are going on at the Tescadero this summer. I'm going to call you tomorrow and give you information on the fairs that's going on at the Tescadero tomorrow. If I say, oh, I'll call you tomorrow, Elgin, at 12 o'clock, I'm calling you at 12 o'clock or 11:55. I'm not calling you at 12:30. It seems simple, guys, just these little things, but each little micro promise you do and you fulfill builds a certain level of trust. So if you do, you don't have to make this big, huge gesture. I'm going to collect all this data and I'm going to bring it by and I'm going to drop you off this huge booklet for you so you can review it and overwhelm you. I'm going to stop by and say hi. I'll bring some information. Now I can bring the big, huge booklet and over deliver, but I want to bring by just a little bit. You want to make these micro promises. That's what I call micro promises that you can fulfill. And that way, every time you're updating your client, and if you're constantly contacting them in relationship, you're slowly building up. Then also, we want to celebrate our clients in our sphere, celebrate their wins, celebrate it on social media. If somebody's son graduates, you know, we can post it. We can send them a message and put something directly with them. To me, that's the way that we slowly start to bond, and they don't see us as just this agent, this realtor that's out to sell them a house, or you want to buy a house, or do you want to sell a house? So, any questions so far? Anybody has input on how they do personal relationships with, how they slowly build up their relationships with their clients and build trust?
I think you're right, Michael. I think it's when you get a hold of people when you're not asking them if they want to sell their home, or you're not you're just checking up on them. It's always about real estate, keep it about business. But I just think I always tell people I like to use the voice memos, because
Mm-hmm.
if people can know you're calling, you can leave a little message, you can say something, maybe you saw them on Facebook, but you're just wanting to stay in touch. I always do say, hey, I just wanted to stay top of mind, because people respect that, because they kind of know you're a real estate agent, so you don't have to hide the fact, but just staying in touch. And hey, if you need me, I'm always here. Give me a call. I like to send those, but I think that builds trust and stuff like that. They know you're still in the game and all that kind of stuff, and they didn't forget about you.
That's perfect. I like that phrase. I wanted to say top of mind because there's one thing that I just gets under my skin when I have somebody call me and they're calling you for business, but they try to go oh, how's everything going? And they have this like 5 minute conversation with you, and you're like, just get to the point, you know.
Right.
And so if you say, hey, I'm just calling to be top of mind, I wanted this, but by the way, how are you doing? What else can I help you with? At least they're upfront and honest with you, and it means something, and they're real, and they know that they're not trying to take up all your time. So I love that little
I've
phrase.
noticed the voice memos on text. It's kind of like I kind of feel like this. I know that maybe a conversation is better because you can ask for the referral, but if you're wanting to do that, if you just say, "Hey, it's Nate. I wanted to be top of mind, and I just noticed this, but I just want to say hi. We haven't talked in a while. Just hope you think of me if you need me, but I'm always here for whatever. Take care." I think that helps, and then they hear from you. They hear your voice,
Mm-hmm.
but then they don't feel like they have to chit chat. They got the kids in the car. They're driving to pick up from school. All this different stuff. So I just feel that's always worked well for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Another thing that I use with that is I always start a lot of my conversations. Hey, I know you're busy. You don't have a lot of time. I'm going to make this quick. And then if I tell them a couple things, I repeat again. Hey, I know you're a busy person. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna get off the line. I'm not gonna take up all your day. So then they're more willing to take my call and more willing to talk to me because they know that I'm not gonna soak up and take all their time. Another thing that you said that was really good there, Nate, is you know, even if you're not talking to them, you're asking for the business, right? You're letting them know, hey, not this. Hey, I'm a realtor. Hey, I'm a realtor. I can raise my hand and tell everybody that. I can post it through social media. I can have great conversations with somebody about the market. But until I tell them, if you're ever in need, make sure you look at me. I'm here to help you. If I don't make that comment, say, when you do need a realtor, give me a call. or I'll be contacted, let me know, make me aware. They're going to be like, oh yeah, I knew you were a realtor, but you never really asked me, so I went to this other person. I didn't really know that you wanted to work with me. I thought you only did $1 million houses, or I thought you only did mobile homes, or I thought you only helped buyers, or I thought you only helped sellers. So when you have these conversations with people, let them know what you do, but also ask for the business. Because if you don't, they're going to say, oh, hey, he's a great conversationalist. He's a great place to go for information. But if I want to get a sale, if I want to buy something, I'm going to go to someplace else. So,
I'll tell you something that just happened to me. A little story. I just put one in escrow this morning. Actually, just now. That's why I was clicked off for 2-1, 2-2, 2-2-25. We just put into escrow, and I've always followed up with this gentleman. He used to be a police officer with me, and he sold a big business and he got very wealthy. And he moved to Manhattan Beach, and his house right now is about 8 million. So I always stayed in touch with him, stayed in touch with him, but nothing ever happened for like, and I sold his house in Santa Clarita at the time for almost two. It was one of the biggest homes, and it's been 8 years. And then I just left him a voice memo the other day, and he clicks me back, "Hey, I want to buy a house in Valencia, moving back." But he would not. So here's my point. He would not let me list his Manhattan Beach house. He said it was too far, and he wanted private showings only. So I did not get the 8 million listing. That went to a Coldwell Banker agent. I did get the 2.225 sale on the buy side, and he did not let me list his Oxnard property, which is on the other side, for 1 million. So he used three different agents, and there's nothing I could do about it. I had to be happy and grateful for what he did give me. But it's just a good example if you're reaching out, just because somebody has another agent or relationships fall apart, or just because they didn't use you this time doesn't mean don't take them out of your database. You never know what might transpire. So I would say that just kind of remember that too. And I didn't scold him for not giving me the eight or whine about it. It made me sick of my stomach. I'm like, I'll come down and stay for every showing if you give me the $8 million listing. He didn't, but I did get the 2-2 sell, so I'm not going to complain about that.
and then I got to give Elgin, shout out. I see, as far as social media, he's out there. He's doing this. Everybody sees him. You get the follow up, the personal emails, you get all that. But I'll go to the Regis and I'll see Elgin on the phone. When we were at our last company, I would walk in, he would be in his office, and we would be two of the only people at the office. But he would come in, say hi, go to his office, and I wouldn't see him from basically 8:30 till 12 o'clock. And his door was shut and locked and note, because he's making phone calls and making these connections. He's the one who told me when I first started, hey, you know what, instead of spending, $500, just to post something to spread it out and send it everywhere and, never know who's hit. What happens if you take that $500 and took, at the time it wasn't that expensive, price has gone up, but, if you took 3 or 4 of your favorite clients out, say, I'm going to take you to lunch, some of your past clients, let's have lunch. I'll take you to dinner. If you stop by and you dropped them off a $10 gift card or a $25 gift card, to Starbucks. Just, hey, I was thinking of you. I was in the area. I mean, those are the connections you have. Hey, I just passed by the house that that you used to live in when we sold it. Now you live in this area. It made me think of you. All these little things. If you are thinking of them and they know that you're thinking of them, other than in real estate, I just drove by the park where kids used to play, when you lived over on Sheldon. Okay, that's great. Now they're going to start thinking of you in general. And then when they think of you in general, they're going to start thinking of you when it comes to real estate as well. So I know John Paul has gotten quite a few deals or listings and stuff coming up from his sphere of influence. A little bit. I know that recently he did. So I think it's just huge that it would slowly build that and keep working. And like I said, it's the like, trust, and know you. They have to know you, they have to like you, they have to trust you. And if they do all three of those things, then that's going to take you to the next level. And they get to know you initially. Well, if they're your sphere, maybe from but otherwise, if they know you, they see you through social media, they start to find out about you. But to really know you, they need to have that one-on-one contact. You send them a message on Facebook, you find out a way that you can get a hold of them. Now, we're not stalking them, we're not cyber stalking anybody, but you're finding ways to make contact. We're finding things in common that you are generally interested in. One thing that I've really used before, somebody told me something, that I had no idea. They said, oh, I like skydiving. I'm afraid of heights, guys. I'd never do skydiving. I wouldn't ever do that. I'm like, oh, but I talked to him, and it's interesting to me that somebody would be. Really? Skydiving. How many times have you jumped? Where do you jump? I would be so afraid. And I let them know that I would never do that. That scares me, but that is interesting to me. So I'm taking an interest in your interest in it. I'm not saying I'm interested in skydiving falsely. So if you can find a connection in a way that you can connect with them, even if it's something that you're maybe not interested in, but you're interested in them being interested in it, is a way that you can connect as well. And I think that's the thing that we need to do is make those connections, make sure that the person knows that we are there for them as a relationship, not for the sale. And the more we build that up and let them know that we know them, that they know us, let them like us because we like them and we built a relationship. And then through our social media and our conversations of what we do, I've talked to everybody. I know that Nate's covered it. I know Elgin's, we've covered it. Candace, I think we covered it at one of our meetings before. The Ford conversation. Once you know, like, and trust people, it's easy to have that Ford conversation, right? Family, occupation, recreation, dreams. And anytime you have a conversation with occupation is one of the things that pops up. When occupation talks up, you talk about your work, what you're doing, that offers that puts it in there so that they know that you're doing it. And then you just keep building and keep building your relationships and growing. And the worst thing that happens, you're talking to somebody, you built a relationship with somebody over 5 years, 10 years. Guess what? You have a relationship with somebody over 5 years, 10 years. There's nothing wrong with that. If they never buy a house, right? Oh, well, I have somebody, and I've had some of my best new friends that I've gotten over my years of being a realtor through the relationships that I built up, that I had no idea who they were. I didn't know them before I started in real estate, but I built up. And they've never bought a house. Now, some of them have referred me houses to people that buy houses, referred me to people that want to sell houses, right? But I built that relationship, and that to me was success. But now the bonus, if we're thinking business wise, is that they trust me and like me enough that they're going to use me, or they're going to tell everybody else to use me when it comes time. But that's not the reason that our relationship exists. Maybe it was the driving part in the initial when I first got to know them, but then we just grew it from there.
Thank you.
All right. Go ahead, Claudia.
No, thank you. It's good stuff.
Thank you. All right. Anything to add, Frank? I think that's all I got today. Is a pretty quick, brief, direct one, I think, but you're on mute.
I like the quotes that you gave, that, hey, I just want, that's really helpful. I wrote some of those down. Thank you.
Michael, I think what you talked about is so important and people overlook. People just don't want to take time to make a relationship with people. They'd rather look for the person who's ready to sell in the next 30 days. But that's like a commandment in real estate, is to make relationships.
Right.
Yeah. But thank you, Michael. Thank you for that. Michael, while I got you here, I know you sent it to me. What is the name of our California growth guy?
Oh, shoot. Roddy De La Garza.
Say that again.
Roddy De La Garza.
Roddy?
Yes. He's awesome, guys. He's really good. I had a conversation with him with an agent, and he jumped on the three-way. He, came and talked and explained everything and answered some questions that I couldn't, but really was able to help go. And it was a nice way for me to talk to this agent where he was like, well, I do this. And I was able to kind of say, hey, you know what? Let me connect you with somebody with corporate that can explain things a little bit better. I can maybe get him on. And I used him kind of like, how we all used to maybe connect with Brent, and say, oh, maybe if I can get you a three-way and talk with Brent, we can get you a conversation. And it's the same type of thing. And then he's able to sit down and explain everything from the corporate point of view, where he's from and what he's been doing, and how EXP can help work with somebody as well.
It must be a tough job, because this is the fourth person I think since I've been with EXP, and I'm really anxious to talk to him.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good guy.
Where's he located?
He's actually in Palm Springs.
Okay.
So, but yeah, if you get the chance, just pop in. We now have through, like, if you go into the EXP agent attraction site or group, there's a link for all the people, for all the regional directors of growth. And so he's California's, and so you can get in there. There's a link to do three-way calls. It's actually on your my EXP link.
Oh, that's great stuff. I did not know that. Thank you.
So yeah, you go there and you can find them. It's just the rev share stuff is all right there. You click, but they will help you. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, he would be your first line of defense if you want to bring somebody in California, for example, like an exception, if you want to give them 100% for 3 months, he would be the person that would approve that, I would think, right?
I think that, or them and the brokers between, but yeah, it would be him that would be able to work with and find out any exceptions that they could do, or really push it through. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. That's awesome. Does anybody have anything before we leave? I see Johnny Lopez joined late. Johnny, good morning or good afternoon.
How's it going? How's it going?
Hey Johnny.
Yeah, no, been having fun, man. I just came back from David Goggins' event in
I
Arizona.
saw
It
it.
was a
I
blast.
saw it.
Talk about taking things to another level. Yeah, no, I was out there networking. I actually got my fingerprints swiped out there while I was out there and got my path to get licensed out there. So
Good.
I'm entertaining the thought of maybe moving in the future. Yeah. But I appreciate your guys' support and all the likes and everything that I do. I really appreciate it.
Oh man.
Helping
That's
me get out there, get my name out there. I'm gonna clean up my profile a little bit and try to go more professional because I do a lot of dumb stuff sometimes. But
Yeah,
yeah.
no, your most of your stuff is funny, and it's
I know. I
so
enjoy
it's all
it. That's
good.
as long as I'm having fun, that's what matters. But when it comes to business, like it doesn't bring like business it just attracts. So it's good for like agent attraction. But as I start to turn the page and start to get more serious with real estate and lean away from my job, I'm gonna have to like switch it up now that I got the little following and whatnot and the likes. I'm gonna have to come with the hook. Yeah. Thank you guys though.
Yeah, first time I saw David Goggins with Elgin, I haven't been the same since. Trust me.
Right? And
Hey,
on top of that, it was Andy Elliott. So Andy Elliott, that's his mentor, and that's the guy that I pretty much get mentored by on the outs. So together, oh my God, it was insane.
a lot of
Yeah, there's this other network thing I met with there. They throw all kinds of stuff where they put you in a room with a bunch of millionaires, and you network and you just meet people that are doing other stuff. And I met some really interesting people that are interested in having me help their business out. So I was talking to my wife about that. And we even got my daughter connected with somebody to network with for t-shirts because she wants to do designs. So she could just do these designs now and they sell it all. The price is right. I'm like, just the networking there was insane.
Yeah, Johnny, I congratulate you for being in a
Thank
room.
you.
I really do, because not a lot of people will go the extra mile. So great job on that. Great job. There's a guy
Yes.
named David on here. David, can you unmute?
Johnny, what's your last name?
Lopez.
Lopez, thank you.
Yeah. Johnny Lopez. Instagram is Johnny Lopez .exp. I don't know if it's allowed, but it's there.
And Johnny, where are you calling from?
New Mexico, Albuquerque.
Excellent.
You
Okay.
guys, I dropped the growth link into the chat box. So if anybody wants to grab that, you can grab it, and it has the toolkit and the form and how to get a hold of anybody as well. So
Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much. Does anybody have anything before we wrap up? To the new people that are on here, welcome. Hope to see you every Monday at 10 a.m. for great stuff like today. And, one of the things that hopefully Nate, Elgin, and Michael and myself can do is just give you a little insight that if you're having problems, you're not the only one. You're not in this alone. We all struggle. And you just got to keep plugged in, because if you don't keep plugged in, it's really tough without support. And this is what I really like about the group. All right, everybody. Oh, Michael, you got something?
nope, I was saying thanks. That's true.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.